Hello everyone, my name is Megha Joshi and I am on behalf of Webcool Software Private Limited India would like to present my talk today. The title of my presentation is a migration story of one of our client 3D Kuppa, Finland-based, for whom we have migrated Odoo 13 community to Odoo 16 Enterprise Edition. So let's get started. Before that, I'd like to give a brief introduction of my company. Our company, Webcool Software Private Limited, have 13 plus years of expertise in implementing custom solutions, providing ready-to-use plugins, solution designing, migration, and many more. Not only including Odoo, we work in multiple platforms like PrestaShop, Shopify, Salesforce, and many more. Along with that, we have 3,000 plus featured ready-to-use plugins so far, with 200,000 customers worldwide, with a good bunch of reviews. Along with that, we have been awarded multiple times, and we are also one of India's largest open source contributor. Now, talking about Odoo, we are Odoo's official silver partner with 13 plus years of experience and 100 plus Odoo professionals. Along with that, we have more than 750 Odoo tailored ready-to-use plugins. Including that, we have done 200 plus Odoo plus implementations, 15,000 customers worldwide, and we are one of the top sellers in Odoo App Store. Now, I'd like to introduce one of our client, this client 3D Kuppa. So our client, Mr. Zarko, owns a 3D printer industry. His industry name is 3D Kuppa. He's Finland-based brand, and he deals in more than 1,200 SKUs, including 3D printers, cameras, scanners, and many more. And he has served over 4,000 customers so far, and it's all going. Now, I'd like to start my presentation. So initially, as you can see, the challenges that our client was facing before he was not in Odoo. So initially, the client, it was a time back 3 years back when there was a COVID-19 lockdown. The client's store was offline. He was managing a physical store. And due to which he was managing multiple challenges, and the main of them are inefficient resource management, manual workload, and limited customer reach. Obviously, if you're not online, you do not have that much customer reach. Only the people that are in your particular area, only they can reach you. And apart from that, since it's an offline store, so you have to manage everything manually, including to manage the manufacturing part, production part, providing the final order to the customers, sale part, everything need to be managed manually. So the workload part was also one of the challenge that our client was facing, inefficient resource management, of course, and limited customer reach. So with these challenges, the client think that, okay, he should move to Odoo, and that time back, 3 years back, at the time of COVID-19, he realized that it is the time to get digitalized. So at that time, he met to his local partner in Finland, and they get installed Odoo for him, Odoo community. The Odoo community was installed in his system, and the challenges that he was facing was now resolved, like efficient resource management, automated operations, and increased customer reach. Because since Odoo provides a centralized platform to manage all your purchase, sales, inventory, manufacturing at a single platform. That is why all operations was automated and the resources were also efficient. Along with that, since now he has his own website, he was live, he was online, so the customer reach was also getting increased and the target audiences were also getting increased. So as a result of this, when he come to Odoo community, the outcome that he got is increased overall efficiency in his business, in performing operations, a centralized interface, and ease of setup, and customer traffic increased. Obviously, since Odoo provides a single platform to manage all your operations, including POS, website, manufacturing, inventory, all the operations at a single platform you can manage. So that was the biggest, you can say the biggest benefit that the client get when we come to Odoo. Along with that, the customer trafficking was also getting increased. And since we were in continuous discussion with a client as well from beginning that how he has experienced, how is his experience so far, and now what impact has been done in his business when he changed to, when he come to Odoo. So accordingly, these are the comments of our client that initially he was in Odoo due to its affordability, of course, because it's open source, and his partner recommended it. But yes, if he wanted to do some additional features that were not applicable in Odoo community by default, for that he had to get it paid by the third-party vendors. But the story doesn't end here. Of course, when you are online and you have a physical store, you will get more challenges. And the main challenges the client was facing is, one of the challenges our client was facing was server crashing. The thing is that the demand was increasing in terms of data, number of orders, product, customers, everything was increasing. So definitely the server will require more space. Since at that time, a third-party vendor has hosted his server on a cloud service provider. So anytime if he wanted to increase, the demand is get increased, he wanted to contact the customer, and it's also a kind of, it will also increase the cost as well. So this was one of the reasons about the server part. Along with that, the accounting capabilities. Although he was using Odoo community, so accounting features were there, but when it comes to the localization as per his own country, I mean the Finland-based localization, the company's own taxation systems, its guidelines, and also to manage the reporting part, there he was somewhere lacking. And apart from that, like I've explained earlier, just to because of the cloud-related part, the expense was also getting increased because every time when there is a demand of to scale the server, the cost was also getting increased. So these were the challenges, the main challenges that our client was facing when he came to Odoo community. So here, the final solution and the solution that we have given to him, and I hope you all know the answer, and that is Odoo Enterprise Edition. So we have recommended him to move to Odoo Enterprise, and the major challenges that he was facing, firstly, the accounting part. He has now the accounting reporting part, his own Finland-based localization with his own taxation system integrated. Along with that, since with each version of Odoo, the interface, the performance, everything is increased, so he has a good improved Odoo experience. And with Odoo Enterprise, we have recommended him to move with Odoo.sh so that the cloud platform will be managed by Odoo itself, and he do not have to worry about the server part, the scalability part, and the costing part, because Odoo already managing that. So due to these challenges, the main challenges about the accounting part, experience, and Odoo cloud platform, these challenges were resolved with Odoo Enterprise, and now his business was quite streamlined. And of course, since these were the comments of our client when he moved to Odoo, that when moving to enterprise version, his security, because he was in Odoo.sh, and also many e-commerce features were significantly improved. Now, since we were also providing solutions to client, and these were the solutions, the major solutions that we have provided him. I'd like to first point out all the three features, then I'll explain them. First is improved search engine optimization. Second is migration services. And third is consultancy and development. So firstly, I'll go with the migration services. So here, like as I've told you, initially the client was not online, he was managing offline store. Then with the help of third-party vendor of Finland, he moved to Odoo 13 community. And then after that, we recommended him, considering the challenges that he was facing, to move to Odoo Enterprise Edition. So accordingly, we have migrated his Odoo from Odoo 13 community to Odoo 16 Enterprise Edition. And here I would like to add here, because migrating from 13 version, I would say a 3-year older version, to one of the latest version, any partner will think twice to take this kind of challenges. But Webcool has taken these challenges and seamlessly migrated the client's data, including all the data, all the customization that was done for Odoo 13 to Odoo 16, and making it compatible with Odoo 16 Enterprise Edition so that his business can move smoothly. So that is one of the major services that we provided to migrate his Odoo. Along with that, in terms of search engine optimization, we have, based on the performance analysis of his on Google search page insight, we have analyzed the SEO part and we have recommended the solution to him in terms of image optimization, in terms of increasing the rich snippet, and in terms of code optimization. We have ranked his Google, we have increased his Google rank as well in terms of SEO. Along with that, I'd like to tell you about the consultancy and development part. So here, whatever the requirement that client gives to us, firstly we analyze that most of the part, we consider that most of the part should be fulfilled by the default feature of Odoo. Firstly, our preference is always to make sure that how many features, how many parts can be fulfilled by the default feature of Odoo. And then on the top of it, we suggest him if we have some ready-to-use plugins to fulfill that client's requirement. If not, then we provide the custom solutions to client. So including consultancy and development was the solutions that we have provided to our client. And in result of these three solutions, these three major solutions that we have provided to our client, the overall impact on his business, the increased organic traffic due to improvement in SEO, as you can see the graph here from the last year to the recent year, along with that, overall increased efficiency in business operations. And obviously, if you have these two in line at the top, then your ROI will automatically get increased. So this is about the brief of how we have assisted the client from a non-physical store, from a physical store to get into the online store, then moving to Odoo Enterprise Edition and making sure all his data to move seamlessly from one version to another version, and to make sure that his overall impact on business should be good and revenue effective. And accordingly, these are the final words by Mr. Zarko, that he was very pleased with the transition to Odoo Enterprise version and to receive assistance from us, and that has brought significant improvement to his business, especially in terms of security and e-commerce features. Along with that, with the strong expertise of Webcool, he's always looking forward to us to fulfilling his upcoming goals as well. So this is all about the presentation of my presentation about Mr. Zarko, a Finland-based owner of 3D printer market, and continuously we are assisting him, we are we are helping him, and he's one of our good clients and very much satisfied with us. So that is all about my presentation, and if you have any Q&As, I'm there to help you with that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
So if some people have question, do you have a question? Do you have a question maybe for you? How did she?
The business model for the consultancy and development. Is it prepaid hours or another?
What's the business model about the services you provide? Is this like a prepaid
So
hours?
initially
Or?
we consider whenever a client come to us, initially he is in our discovery phase, I would say, in a discovery phase. So firstly, we analyze his requirement and we consider, okay, how much features can be preferred, solved with the default feature of Odoo. And then we provide him the custom solutions and our plugins. And in case when the client has not that much requirement in detail and the requirement is quite brief and he is not very much aware about the Odoo interface, then we prefer him solution designing as well. We just document his requirement with the wireframing of Odoo, with the visualization that how that requirement will look in Odoo. When he had the final document requirement that, okay, this is the requirement that is going to implement in Odoo, he'll get all the features, he'll get all the visualization. And the last part after that, when everything is confirmed, that thing is we have to do is to do the code part. Because now we have just to do the code end part. So before coding, the client is aware of all the features that are going to implement it in his Odoo, because we are providing him the solution designing services. And after that, that is one of the most of the services that is, I mean, one of the, you can say many of our clients ask for the services who are not very much aware of Odoo, because they got a visualization of how their customization will look like when it is finally implemented. And once client confirm that, okay, the documentation is fine, now you can move to the customization, then we provide him the final efforts for the coding part. So this is our approach from the discovery phase to making the customer live on Odoo. And continuously we provide support to the clients. We have expertise in terms of development, testing, and go live process as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we got another question. Did you migrate version by version, so like 13, 14, 15, and 16, or directly from 13 to 16?
So firstly, we have migrated from Odoo 13 Community to Odoo 13 Enterprise Edition. And after that, with the help of the script, we have directly migrated from Odoo 13 Enterprise to Odoo 16 Enterprise Edition. Considering there should be, no data loss, we have the process to migrate. There are two processes to migrate: code migration and data migration. So once these two data is migrated, then we ask the client, okay, now we have migrated the data, you can test it once that, okay, everything is working fine. Then we ask for the client, okay, shall we move to live? I mean, we ask for a downtime for the client, because if the site is already live, so we ask a downtime for him. He provided the downtime for us, and then accordingly, at that time duration, even with that, we take less than that, I would say, and we migrate the customer's final data to the final version, that is the live version of Odoo 16.
Okay, very interesting. We got another question, but why did you pitch Odoo SH to him? What are the key benefits for you to use Odoo SH?
The thing is that the client was facing very much server-related concern, because initially he was offline, so the data was not that much. But when he comes to online in Odoo community, the data was getting increased. Like I've told in my previous presentation as well, that the data was increasing, number of orders was increasing, product were increasing. And in that basis, at that time, he was managing a third-party cloud service provider. And every time if the space was getting increased, he has to contact that to please check, please scale my server. And that was expensive as well. And that is why we recommended him to go with Odoo.sh, that you do not have to worry about the server spacing part, because Odoo will manage that on his own. You just have to focus on your business. That's it. And that is, I mean, every client will prefer to focus on its business only, not about the cloud-related concern.
Okay.
So that is the reason.
Another one, but two questions that are mainly related.
Okay.
What do you mean by seamlessly migrate the data? What main issues did you face with data migration?
Seamlessly migration, I would say that we have to consider, since client already have so much data in his Odoo 13 community, including ready-to-use plugins and customizations. So we have to consider that, okay, the data and the code should be migrated seamlessly. There should be no data loss. And that is the reason when we are migrating, we were testing it. I mean, we have a separate team of testing. We are doing multiple recursion. It's not like at once the data will be migrated. Multiple recursions need to be done to get the data finally migrated. And once the data and code migrated, we ask the client to first test it in a testing environment. Once he confirms everything, then we move to Odoo 16 Enterprise Edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got another question. What technical challenge did you face while implementing the project, if there is any?
Biggest challenge that we face is, firstly, of course, about the server part. And one of the biggest challenges was managing the client SEO. because his customer reach was not that much. So we have improved a lot in terms of SEO, in terms of increasing his Google rank. Because in some cases, the code was, the third-party code was not much optimized. So we have done optimization of that. Along with that, we have done image optimization. We have done web images, so that the Google search rank was increased. Even we have worked on the Google rich snippet part as well, the featured snippet part as well, to increase that, so that the overall rank of client was get increased. So I would say Google SEO ranking was one of the major challenges that we were facing, and now we are successfully, we have made the client's Google rank quite top for so far, and currently we're also working to increasing it more. So we are quite successful on that.
Okay. Um, Another question. There's a lot of questions actually, so it's nice. How do you manage the remote work from India and the barrier of the language? Is it a difficult challenge you faced, or was it seamless?
No, not actually, because we have a separate team of developers, business analysts, project managers, and testing. And we have multiple communicating platforms to chat with clients, including our own UVdesk portal. Anyone can drop us a mail at support@webcool.com. A ticket will be created, and our team will be there to assist you. Along with that, we have other chat communication like Skype, and we have our own chat communication platform as well. So we have a time with client, okay, you're available in this time zone, and we are assisting him. And so there was no such big concern in terms of remote, because we have a team working at the time of night as well. So whenever client required, especially, when at times, when there's some major issue or something, then there's just one thing client need to do, and we are there to assist our client.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talk about the support you can bring to the client. How does it work exactly? Do you sell like prepaid hours, or can the client contact you and you can do like extra hours and bill them to the client directly?
Yeah, basically, depending upon the requirement of customer, initially we prefer to have a meeting with him,
Yeah.
to have a good visualization of your requirement and a one-to-one discussion. And after that, considering that, we provide a kind of hourly quotations to our kind hourly costing. Reason being, depending upon the project, we have all the two models, hourly model and fixed model. And depending upon the client requirement, most of the cases we prefer hourly costing. Reason being, in hourly costing, client have a clear transparency of where his hours are consumed. He has access of the time sheet of developers. Okay, these hours are consumed here. Even we are also providing a PMS portal access to our clients, so that he can communicate directly to our tech team. So that is why, to keep the transparency, it's not like we have given some big quotation and inform you, okay, it will be done within 1 day or 2 day or 1 month or something. No, we do not give any false, you can say any false approval or something. We just give and prefer hourly model and an agile way. In agile way, you used to prefer, okay, this is a requirement. This set of requirement will be done in this time frame, and after this time frame, you will get a demo. Once you will confirm that, we will deploy it on your server and will move with the next phase of your requirement. So basically, we prefer the agile methodology. Yeah.
Another question. So during the presentation, you show us a slide about the SEO, so how you help the client to be more
Yeah.
visible online. And the person is asking, there are many competitors actually in the 3D printer market. So how did you manage the website of the client? How did you manage to make it more visible or prettier, I
Yeah,
would
so
say?
that is what we have done in terms of 3D printer market, because he was, not very much, quite a new in this market, and he was, the Google ranking was not that much good. So there we worked on SEO. We have analyzed the paid Google page speed is inside, where his ranking is getting hampering and where his site is getting affected. In terms of image optimization, in terms of snippet part, and in some cases we have done code optimizations as well. And with this, along with that, SEO URLs as well. We have worked on increasing and redirecting the SEO URL as well. With all these factors, his final rank in Google was improved a lot.
Okay, and we got a very large question, I think, and I think you already answered a bit of it during the presentation, but what's your implementation methodology in very large term? Don't go too
Yeah,
much in the
so
detail, but
like I've told you, our implementation methodology is basically, initially we start with the discovery phase of client. We gather the requirement via meeting, and then we finalize the solution to him. Either we prefer the solution designing or a final approach to client, then give him the approx estimation and the developers involved on the project and how the final requirement will look like, some wireframings and all. Once we confirm that, then initially we deploy the customization on the testing server of client, the staging server, so that client can check, okay, that everything is working fine. Although we do testing from our end as well, but just to have a cross confirmation, client also tests that. We give him a demo as well. Once he confirmed that, then we deploy the changes on client's production server.
Okay.
So this is our phase to start.
And we got one last question, so we will end with this one. How long did it take to migrate the database, actually? Is it like some weeks or some months? Do you have an estimation?
I would say basically it depends upon the number of data at client's end to be migrated, and like it's not like at once we'll do a complete migration. We have to do multiple recursions. But although the complete migration will not take more than, I would say, 7 to 10 working days to make sure everything is working fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the explanation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.